Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Final Point. Hope everyone is doing well. This is a show where only Leeds bros and Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds get together and we have a point and we talk about the previous game. I'm on the Corona. Dillo, what are you on?
Class.
I'm dying sick, lads,
Class.
and I apologise anyone thinking me.
Dylan is
Oi,
a little bit under the weather and he's having a double hot whiskey there, so he may be
Yeah.
talking even more scutter by the end of this show.
Yeah.
Matty, how are you? What are you on, buddy?
Brilliant, my mate. On a nice pint of Madry.
Love it.
Favourite lager.
Very
Lovely.
nice, lad. Yeah, so all smiles and all happy here at OnlyLeedsBros and Imagine Not Being Leeds. We did hit the 500 subscriber mark there yesterday. And Leeds United won and went back to the top of the championship table if Carlsberg did weekends. Unbelievable. Lads, apart from the drink, how you keeping anyway? Matty, how are you, pal?
Brilliant. I've just seen that comment at the bottom as well.
Literally.
I wonder how long it took. First time I think I've been like, yeah, it's been off since I've started this channel. So yeah, big news. Big news. Leeds win. 500 subs apiece, but even bigger news, Matty shaves his tash. That's the headline of this week. That's the headline. But no, honestly, mate, phenomenal day yesterday. Well, it was unreal, like I say, both to have that success we've had in this short space of time, to get 500 subs for Leeds to win. Just all around, what a great couple of days it's been for both channels. What a great couple of weeks it's been as a Leeds United fan. I mean, when was last time we won so many games over Christmas period? You know, we speak on voice notes quite regularly. We've all sort of touched on that, and it just makes Christmas a lot sweeter. It's nice to pause and relax with family because we all live hectic lives. We all work really hard for families. I'm sure everybody tries to do that. It's nice to pause, sit back with your family. You know, look at what's important, and obviously get some points on balls. Being fantastic.
Yeah. He's been
so-
grounded since he left school.
What happened, mate?
Yeah,
You must put the head out the car window and it blew away, didn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Bit of wind in Leeds today.
Yeah, man, that's it, pal. That's it. Happy days. All good.
Lovely. Dillo, how are you apart from being a little bit under the weather? How are you keeping?
Yeah, I'm all right, lads. Yeah, look, same as Matty there. Three points on the board, back-to-back away performances for Leeds. Yeah, just chilled out, woke up this morning, bits, slept all day. Gone back to bed after this, if I'm being honest. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, all good, all good. Other than that,
Happy days. Right, lads, look, we'll dive straight into it. Matty, we'll come to you first, buddy. What did you think of yesterday?
Fantastic, mate. I tipped a 3-0. Obviously, didn't quite go that way in terms of the main stat of the goals on the board. But
Shouldn't it?
yeah, I think all the metrics sort of showed how dominant we were. For some reason, a lot of people were losing their head about playing Derby at their place, like they were the second coming or something. I don't know what it is. The home form's okay. It's way better than the away form, granted. But I don't think it were out to worry about. I think we touch a lot about that Leeds tag, that away form's sort of hampered us a bit. So even though we got that great result at Stoke, we still had that doubt when it won off. Could we build on it? So I suppose I sort of see why people were worried about Derby. Don't get me wrong, the set up okay. They give it, they only conceded the one goal. They were hard to break down at times. But for me, we still broke them down maybe 4 or 5, really good occasions. And, there were some big chances missed there, and that could have put the game to bed a lot earlier. It was nice to see him freshen it up. We'll go into individuals, I'm sure, soon, but it was really nice to see him freshen it up, him trust his squad, something he didn't do last year. Last 2 games, he's shown a pair of bollocks, hasn't he? Farke, we're dropping Tanaka, dropping Rothwell, both decisions where if he don't get it right, if he don't get 6 points in them games, lads, certain sections of fan base are coming for him for those 2 decisions.
Yeah.
Whether you think it were right or wrong, we got 6 points and you've got fresh legs, you're freshening it up. So for me, Farke's getting it all right at the minute.
Yeah. And look what you said, Mike. He could have easily would have been both sides of it if he, rotated that much yesterday and Leeds lost. He said, well, what was he changing a winning side for? Same thing at Stoke. So you're always going to get different sections of the fan base, and it's always going to be the opposite of what he's doing if things doesn't go right. Yeah, look, I was happy to see a little bit of rotation. The only one I probably wasn't too happy about was the Pirro situation, just because he scored 2 goals. But on the other side of it, I can't understand why he done it. So, well, like what you said, we're going to delve into it a little bit more on individual performances. The general LUFC, where in Dublin, you 2 boys from. I'm Skerries. The family home is actually in Lusk, so about 5 minutes from yourself. But we've branched out. I'm Deleek and Dylan is Dundalk. So yeah, we've moved a little bit further north. You're in Waterford at the minute. Jesus, scary as the Waterford is is a fire out stretch. Might take that Joseph short down and put up the American boy present. Yeah, the American boy.
Take me on I want to go someday. Honestly, what a player! What a player! Whoever
I
doubted
think
him.
Danny
Whoever
says
doubted
here, I'm going to upset Dillo now. I think Pirro needs to start more games up top. Needs to score more as well. And exactly, lads. Look, I think we start there because it is something I do want to get into. The Joseph one yesterday, as I said, I could understand why it happened, why he took him out, but I just would have liked to see Pirro, and the proof was in the pudding. Joseph, I think. Oh, look at Dylan. We'll put it to you first, Joseph. How do you think he got on yesterday?
He actually done all right, to be fair. You know, a few chances, he should have put one away. Look, regardless of the Pirro and Joseph situation, should have buried Derby away yesterday. It was great performance from the lads, but yet again, he can't get that early goal. But I actually think Joseph done quite well. I think everyone, to be fair, done well. They all put in a shift. Even Nanto and all other people are giving him a bit of stick. He's still performing. He done well. Actually, he done very well. Just no stopping now. Pirro, Dan James, and Solomon at the minute, and Aronson, to be fair. But yeah, look, Pirro is just a natural goal scorer. But I think at times like that, you do need to shape it up, especially away from home. You know, he's have to try new things, considering the away form before the last two games. So he's only shaking things up. As I said in the last video, I love the fact that there was 4 changes. I also love the fact that there's lads on the bench, like the bench alone for players to come on. You know, serious is absolutely serious. But I still rather Joseph over Bamford, that's for sure. So as long as Joseph is making some sort of impact, you know, it's coming. It's gonna come. He's gonna get a goal. He's gonna get an assist. That's only time will tell. He needs to keep the head down and keep working hard.
Matty, you buddy, Matteo Joseph's performance yesterday?
All right, flat to deceive a little bit. I mean, it's a goal. It should be a goal scorer when you're playing up front for Leeds United. You're going to get enough chances to be burying, and he missed a couple. You know, I think the 2 big chances he had, I think Pirro puts one of them away. I think that first one when they cut it back and he were at near post. I think Pirro probably gets a foot on that and it at least gets on target and potentially goes in. But yeah, you know, I'm a big Joseph fan. I've been since the start of the season. I think a run of games and a couple of goals are doing world of good, but I just don't think you should be taking Pirro. I think it's probably the one decision he got wrong yesterday, but because we won, it didn't really matter. But I feel like rotation's brilliant, but Pirro hasn't shown any concerns for injury since we've signed him. He's always dependable. I don't know whether he doesn't. Some people say he don't put himself around as much as Joseph. I don't know what it is, but he's relatively fit all the time. I don't think he needed resting, if I'm honest. On the high, you're getting 2 goals. And the thing is with Pirro, if I'm to be a little bit harsh, since he's been at Leeds, he has scored a lot of goals, to be fair. He hasn't scored many match-winning goals. He did at Stoke. At Stoke, he's been one of them who gets the 3rd goal in a 4-0 rout last season and stuff like that. This game, he won that game for us against Stoke. He got 2 goals. Fantastic. He should have started yesterday. It's something we've always spoken, haven't we, on here, lads? He doesn't really give one of them a decent run of games. It's 3 or 4, and then he'll switch it back. I feel like on back of 2 goals, he was probably the one change he didn't need to make. But I think with it being Derby, so close to the Stoke game, and obviously playing again on New Year's Day, I do think it was just Joseph in for that one game. I think Joseph could have scored an hat-trick yesterday. I still expect Pirro to start against Blackburn. So I think it would just, instead of playing Pirro for 3 games in 6 or 7 days, he had to give Joseph one of them. So I sort of understand it. But I do think we maybe missed a trick early on of getting an extra goal on board early with Pirro coming out. But I'd like to just say that that triple substitution we made of James, Solomon and Pirro, that has to be the best triple substitution that Championship's ever fucking seen.
I think you're that Boney
unbelievable.
the stand, and you're seeing that coming on. Like,
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the Winners game, mate. They came on the Winners game, and another one again where, you know, I know Aronson played, but you know, they came on the effective game. Pirro gets his assist. Again, you know, those subs tend to work. And even if it's a tight game coming towards the end of the game, he's got the tools now on bench sat there that we can either win a game early on with quality that starts, or we can bring it off at bench and do it, lads. You know, he's got all the tools in his arsenal this year as Farker.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I suppose, Matty, I'm similar to like what you said there about, I think if we had Pirro on the end of one of them chances, the game probably would have been a little bit more comfortable. To be honest with you, I wasn't too happy with Joseph's performance yesterday, lads. I did expect a little bit more. I think he was handed an opportunity. He was handed a short to go out there and, kind of stake a claim. And I don't think he really did, lads. I don't think he didn't show him whatsoever. And more or less, he handed the short back to Pirro. Again, I thought Pirro should have started, but he didn't do anything to kind of stake his claim. Like you said, Pirro has to be starting against Blackburn, 110%. And you could see the difference. As soon as Pirro came on, he injected something a little bit different. All three of them did up front. And like you said, for the goal, there's no thinking about it. The ball straight in around the corner to Aronson and Leeds are in. So, yeah, for me, I think are we eventually getting to the stage where Pirro is our number one starter for a long time. We've flip flopped and we probably will. Like you said, Matty, I was surprised that he did start Joseph because like you said with Pirro, he's not majorly mobile. He doesn't really get about the pitch. Did he actually really need the rest, or was it a thing where he just wanted to keep Joseph fresh, and kind of keep him going, keep giving him minutes? Maybe it's a situation like that. Like I'm not too sure. But yeah, touching on the substitutions, me and Dylan were obviously doing the watch along. It was crying out because it was a 10-minute period there where Ramazani he was absolutely dead on his feet. You could see he couldn't even try to kick the ball. Looked like a lot of effort from him.
His touch was a bit off as well.
Yeah, Nanto went out all the game, and you could see he was killing Aronson's game a little bit as well. He kind of still had the energy, but he was trying to get involved. Joseph was completely gone out all the game as well. And you could see, not that Derby were taking control of the game, but we were just starting to give away a couple of silly free kicks.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've scored 12 goals from set pieces, joined most with Luton in the championship this season. So it was becoming a little bit of a worry, probably for that 10-minute period. The Leedsy kind of tag was in the back of my head that we've kind of dominated this whole game. We've had chances, we haven't scored, and it was just something in the back of my head. Is this going to come back to bite us? But them substitutions change it. I thought Solomon, unbelievable. As soon as he came on, the ball through to James. Look at James should have scored. He knows himself he should have scored. I think if he's on the pitch a little bit longer, he was a little bit more kind of maybe in the rhythm of the game, he probably does put the ball in the back of the net. But Solomon, what a pass. And then again, the lead up to the goal, you see the little pivot, the little turn that he does, his pass into Pirro as well. He was outstanding. And like what you said, Matty, bringing on them three it's an absolute embarrassment, isn't it? But yeah, look, absolutely delighted with the win. Delighted we're back top of the table. The only kind of criticism was it probably should have been more. We should have made it a little bit easier for ourselves, shouldn't we?
It was definitely a great game of football. Like,
it really was, mate. It really was.
It was deadly, like, to watch. Like, it's just not taking our chances again. And I've kind of seen a bit of it out from last season. Yeah. It's just, as I said, I feel that when it does get to the 70th minute and it's 0-0 and it's kind of, we're dominating, that's when they go up and catch us on the counter if they were playing a low block. That was my fair, so that's my problem is, where is plan B? You can't just rely on Pirro to come on in the 70th minute. And look, it is working. I'm not saying it's not, but me personally, I just don't think we should solely rely on a 70-minute substitutions to come on and get a goal. I know we did, but you know what I mean. It should be kind of nipped in the bud as quick as possible.
I feel like that first half, obviously we flew out of blocks, didn't we? And I feel like we pretty much dominated that first half.
D. Lee Bowler is in the building.
I feel like we started game like house on fire, and goal didn't come. But I feel like that first half there was probably a 5-minute spell where we eased off a little bit and they came back into it, maybe after 25 minutes, and then we sort of strangled it back by half time again. But same with second half. But I know what you mean. There was about a 10-minute spell. They weren't really creating anything, but you could just see a lot of our players' legs had gone. It weren't quite sticking. You could see probably from about 60 minutes onwards, it was like, oh, it's a bit. And then when he freshened it up on 70th minute, then we sort of got it back, and then we just took control. But honestly, lads, there's no coincidence in the fact that Ampadu's back and we've just got 2 wins away from home. I feel like, I know you're probably going to touch on him. Ampadu is phenomenal, but I don't feel like I know Rothwell, you said to me, didn't you, like we missed that play grabbing it and driving with ball, but Ampadu, I've got some stats here, just listen to this, I couldn't actually believe it. So Ampadu won the most duels, 14, made the most ball recoveries, 7, completed the most passes into the final third in 20, and made the joint most touches, 75, of any Leeds player or Derby player. But it's that passes into final third that sometimes he don't do. Sometimes he don't do. Sometimes he looks at side.
Before he got injured, mate, he wasn't doing it before he got injured because he was very keeping.
I was like, and he said it to you there, and it was different. Like, he was trying to put balls in over the top, and I was loving that. I was loving that. And
do you think that's a tad, Dillo, that he's seen the players who've been playing in front of him and the shirt he had to win back, and he's looked at them and thought, I've got to adapt my game here to get in this side, because he's definitely he looked slightly more forward thinking than he used to. If anything, Tanaka were a little bit deeper than Ampadu, where Ampadu were trying to progress the ball, which I was shocking.
Don't forget, lads, like it was hard for him to get back in, and I know he's captain and he probably will genuinely just walk in, but to be fair to him, he stepped up his game. You know, he has stepped up his game. Like, I said this in the last one as well, Darren. You know, when Strike was captain, we were losing every away game. Amber comes back and we won 2 on the bounce.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Strike isn't a good captain. What I am saying is Ampadu was obviously injecting something into the players.
It's just something different like that. It's that tenacity as well. But like what Danny says, Ampadu played a little further forward than Tanaka. Yes. That's what for me, lads. I think all of us as Leeds fans would have thought Ampadu would have been the one sitter, and I said it in our match build up. It would have been great to kind of see Tanaka off the shackles, but it was very much the other way around. It was more Ampadu was kind of being let go, and Tanaka was doing the sitting. But like that, lads, he was absolutely solid yesterday. He probably would have been my man of the match, Ampadu, if it wasn't for Aronson getting the goal.
Yeah, I'm saying
that's what tipped the balance for me, was Aronson. What was the match, because he did do well. He was wasteful, obviously, in a couple of opportunities, but solely just because he won the game.
I agree.
Ampadu, he does get it for me, but Ampadu was very, very close.
Ampadu's best game in the league shirt for me. Right,
and even the smacks he was getting, lads, he was getting a couple of smacks. He got kicked in the head. He was treaded a couple of times. He was getting a couple of hard tackles.
Stood on the ankle.
Like Derby were really sticking it to him yesterday as well, and someone that's coming back from injury as well. It didn't really phase him. He was just up and at it, and not a bottom.
Going back to what you said there about the Tanaka and Ampadu situation, like obviously I did as well. I was loving it. I was like, this is where Tanaka can take the shackles off and kind of go. But what I will say, I would genuinely trust Tanaka back, you know, when he receives the ball, when it is in our half, then I would than Ampadu. Because over a few games, especially last season, and I think it happened once or twice this season, Ampadu has kind of done silly passes, lost the ball and they went up and, you know, on a counter. Where Tanaka, to be fair, you can trust him a lot more on the ball. I don't know about you, as I do anyway. I don't feel my heart or my anxiety.
Ampadu can be a little bit too laid back sometimes, can't he? You know what I mean? Like when he gets the ball in his heart, he can be a little bit too laid back. So I fully agree with that. Tanaka he's like a machine in there. He just very rarely gives the ball away. So it's a bit of a shock to us, because we've even called Tanaka playing in 10 potentially in past. We thought he had the capabilities to play way further forward than playing in 6. Yeah. And maybe a bit like that Pirro and Jorginho last year, where he had them wrong way around for a long period. Maybe it's, you know, maybe it'll end up where Ampadu does sit deeper. But for now, if he's going to go with Tanaka sitting and Ampadu having a bit more of a license, he weren't playing too far up. But out of the two of them, I'm happy with that, because like I say, Ampadu, a lot of us have got short memories. A lot of us have said he won't get back inside. I'm happy he's come back in, and he hasn't took long to get back in swing of it. He's come in, and it's like he hasn't been out, you know, for how long he's been out. And it's fair play to him. Look at his fitness levels. Amazing that, you know, he's been out that long and he comes straight back in, plays 3 games in quick succession, covering 2 positions, lads. And he's as captain at the end of the day, and there's an upturn in performance there. I saw stats before he got injured. I think his away games were winning 70% of them. Without him, we win 25%, somewhat ridiculous in terms of his win percentage when we've got him, when we haven't. So fair play to him, mate. And it's just a little headache for Farker. And I've sort of been saying the rotation thing, he might rotate between all 3. But I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if Rothwell is the one that comes out, if there's any longevity to a 2. I think what we saw last night, well, that's probably it, pal.
I think it's great though as well, don't get me wrong, like with each game. So like Blackburn, you know, if he starts Nando, I won't be, you know, upset. Starts DJ. I wanted to kind of get to that where, like, I wonder who's starting and who is playing, because, like, to be fair, some of the boys are at it, some of the boys aren't. Joseph is one of them, to be fair, but it's probably the best game he's played out of the bad field that he has been playing. Yeah. You know, you can see progression, you can see improvement. Same with Nando, same with Ramazani. As Darren said, I don't think Ramazani's ready for a full 90, to be honest with you. I think maybe it's fitness or
he hasn't played much at all, lads, and you could see him. He
that lack of quality as well again.
He's very good. But lads, just bringing it back a little bit, just before we go off the centre midfield topic, what is the situation then with Joe Rothwell? Obviously, look, he's been outstanding for us when called upon. He was really good as well. Like as soon as he came into the squad, we can't really say that he's had a bad game whatsoever. Do we think now, is that him out of the squad because he's a lone player, or do you think there'll be another little shake up again at Blackburn?
No, there'll definitely be another shake up. He can't, like, his set pieces are quality as well. We have to keep that in mind. You know, you can't. To be fair, Aronson couldn't whip a ball in Ramzani was. He done very well with the corners, but yet again, as you said, Darren, he's a bit jaded. He's not ready for the full 90.
He's not started at minute either on Ramzani, is he?
No, I think Rotwell.
Which is mental because before he got injured, everyone was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Ramazani is injured." Best player, and so but he can't get back to that level once he gets that rust out of him. I've no doubt he will get back to the player we seen before then. Look, I'm just interested to see what way it's going to work in that midfield pairing. Look,
someone winding me up there as that Stephen McPhail in the chat.
There's no way we've had Lee Boyd and Stephen McPhail tonight, lads. Well, we'll just go with it.
Look what happens when you have 500 subs, huh? You get all the ex-pros coming in, huh?
Yeah, man.
Don't worry, lads. We know ball, you don't.
Stephen, what a player. What a player.
It's gonna be interesting to see what way he's gonna work in now, because I really do like Joe Rotwell. I really do. There's games where he grabs a boy the horns, and he likes to drive us up the pitch, and Ampadu and Tanaka worked really well yesterday, but Rotwell and Ampadu worked really well at Stoke as well. So I imagine it is going to be Ampadu, that's going to be playing, and it's either going to be swapping out between Tanaka and Rotwell. But what's your thoughts on it? Where does it leave Rotwell? I'm feeling a little bit sorry for him.
I'll tell you what, Rotwell can hold his head high regardless of what happens. It's not his decision now what happens going forward. He did everything and more, better, a better player than we probably ever envisaged he'd be for Leeds United. Looking at how good he's been for us, I can't believe he wanted to start for Southampton. He would have bench play for them, and he got 4 goals.
Sorry, that's on the wind-up. That's on the wind-up, that one.
Is it? Never mind. But I don't know, mate. It's one of them, there's no sentiment in football, and it's all about getting promotion, so he'll pick who he thinks is best for the job. But when you've got 3 lads into 2 and they're all the best for the job, really, I hope he keeps him as a rotation option. As we know, there'll be certain games maybe where you want that little bit more quality, where you might want a Rothwell in there. You might look.
If you want more attacking minded though as well, that's where he brings that out.
I think a lot of it depends as well, lads, on how Aronson's form is. I think while Aronson's in this pomp like he is at minute, these last 2 or 3 games, you saw yesterday, even without Rothwell bridging that gap, because playing with 2 deep sixes, you can have a lot of space in between, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Ampadu played a little bit further forward slightly, it weren't as big, and Aronson were dropping deep. Because Aronson were playing well and ball was sticking, it didn't appear to be as distant as it could be. If Aronson's having an off game and you with 2 defensive midfielders, that synergy between that defence and that attacking line would be absolutely shocking, yeah. But because Aronson's flying, I don't feel like you lost much with Rothwell not being in yesterday because of how well Aronson played. And it's one of them, you say it all the time, different horses. And I hope he uses that to go with it. I don't want to see Rothwell only getting 10 minutes a game for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I hate to
he deserves more. Yeah, me too, mate. I mean, if I were Rothwell and this had happened months ago, let's be fair, if Ampadu didn't get injured, mate, we'd have probably never seen Rothwell, and he'd have probably wanted to go back in January and get a move somewhere else because he's that good. He's too good to be sitting on bench.
He's quality. He is very good.
True, mate. Yeah, no, agree, 100%. Lads, look at next one. I want to bring up Brendan Aronson. He's made me eat me words because it was obviously giving out stink about him before both away games. I've obviously not been to my home. He's always been Matty's favourite anyway. Ellen Rowe been outstanding all season, really, really good. Always puts in a shift. Always gets about the pitch away from home. I was very unimpressed with him. I just thought he wasn't putting in the performance necessary for away from home. Yeah, didn't really see him up for the fight, getting pushed off the ball very easy. No real quality on the ball. And I said it before, Stoke, because he needs to change it now, especially 2 back-to-back away games. Obviously, our away form was very, very poor. I was nervous going into these 2 games because I had a feeling if, we kind of did slip up, we didn't get a win out of these 2 games. Imagine the heat that would be on Daniel Farke and the whole situation. But my God, lads, how wrong was I? First of all, we'll touch a little bit on Stoke. Outstanding at Stoke, wasn't he?
Go on, Dillo.
Yeah, look, you have to give him his flowers. He's been quality. He's been consistent. He's like a little Jack Russell. Running around like a headless chicken, but he does the job well. What does annoy me about him, I'll get the negative out of the way straight away. I've noticed over a couple of games, when he does go for a shot, it's getting bloomed over the bar. He's leaning back, he just can't get his body over the ball or his knee over the ball. There's big chances like that. You would love to see them just to go in, But then on the other hand, that goal yesterday, that was quality, great team effort all over.
Yeah.
Look. I'm happy with him. Don't get me wrong. Like he's playing very well. I just would like someone else to go in there. If I'm being honest, I just feel like you could say Tanaka or even Rowell or Nanto or Solomon. I think they could do us a job in there as well. And it's more going back to what we said a couple of weeks ago, just to give Aronson that little bit of a rest.
I'm happy with him at the minute. Matty, I don't know what your thoughts are. Like, I'm more than happy with him at the minute. Like, I wouldn't be dropping me. He's brought up that level. If he can stay at this level, lads, and I said it in the player rating video today, he's already 7 goals this season. You know, if he continues that on and keeps his level of performance at this level, lads, he could easily push for player of the season if he keeps it at this level. Now that he's shown it, I want him to keep it there. Do you know what I mean? I think he could get a bit of heat if he drops below this part again. So, for me, I'm giving him his flowers. I thought he was outstanding both games. And I'm happy with him in the 10, lads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit like Dillo in terms of I wouldn't be against, going out and getting a 10. I prefer a profile of a 10 that's, like I said before, has that little bit of magic and that stardust sprinkled in there, which I don't think he has and he never will have. What he has got in abundance is effort, hard work, determination. Wants to prove you wrong. He's come back to Leeds with his tail between his legs, licked his wounds, got on with it, won fans over really quickly. At Ellen Road, I think he's been fantastic, like you say. And Ellen Road is the hardest place for Brendan Aronson to play, especially early on in the season. 36,000 fans booing him at times early on in the pre-season friendly. And he's won them all over pretty quick and he's done really well. Like you say, I think he started the season on the whole well, even away from home. He got a brilliant goal, I think, at Chef Wednesday as well. And
Chef Wednesday, yeah.
Playing really well. And then, like, last couple of months, as our away forms dipped, he's been a massive part of the reason, as in that creativity. He's always going to be looked at for goals and assists, being a 10 at Leeds United, being a 10 in football. You've got to be creating and scoring goals from that position, especially in such a free-flowing side like we are, a team that should create many chances and does. He should be a focal point to that. He shouldn't all just be coming from wingers and Pirro coming on as a sub to get you goals. Aronson should be getting 10 goals and 10 assists, really. And to be fair, he might do that. He's well on his way to doing that, so he's going to prove me wrong. I didn't think he had it in him, and long may it continue. But yeah, like I say, on the eye, I prefer a bit more magic. But in terms of what he's giving now, he's outperforming his level for me at the minute, and long may it continue. My only reservation is he's hitting form at the time we're going into January. I don't want that to blindside the club. Yeah. We've seen it happen before. And with Aronson, when he went at Leeds, when his first season at Leeds, he was outstanding till the Qatar World Cup, which came in December time. He was outstanding till that point. Came back in New Year, different player. What I don't want that to be is like a seasonal thing with him where he's good till Christmas and after Christmas he falls off. If we don't make a signing in January, I guarantee you will see a drop off. We need someone to come in, someone to compete with him and push him, because his fitness is never in doubt. He's probably one of the players who can play nearly every week. He's one of them who's just outstanding engine. But if that quality drops, we've seen how pivotal he is. When he's forming on it, Leeds United aren't getting points away from home. You've seen an upturn with Ampadu coming back, which is great. Clean sheets, showing endeavour in middle of pitch, breaking play up. But then you've seen that when Aronson's on it, you've seen what he can do. A great ball through to Pirro at Stoke. A great, honestly, brilliant goal. But not even the goal, the movement to get to the goal. The synergy, just beautiful goal like that. Well, one of the best team goals you'll see this season, and he's the one that puts it away. So you're always going to remember that goal. So right now, he's hitting his ceiling for me now. I don't know how much more he's got. I just hope he can continue long enough to bring someone else in for competition, or someone in the ranks currently to maybe get given a goal there in a game where they maybe rotate and look like we've got another option, because I just don't want us to play Aronson from now till May, because I think that'll be a mistake. But right now, brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
The only kind of little discrepancy that I do have him, I think he needs to provide more assists. Look, he has got 7 goals, but only got 2 assists in that time. When you look at Joe Pirro, Joe Pirro has 9 and 5 assists, and that's come from a striker number 10 when he does drop back in there. So probably is something that he needs to add to his game a little bit more. And something that I do see that's a little bit of miss, mate, and especially at the Oxford game, it's when he is treading that final ball through, it always seems to be a little bit too heavy. It always seems to be a little bit off, doesn't it? There's just that final ball with him is something that he needs to book. Very similar to the Dan James situation. Always going to get there. Will always have the opportunity to give that final ball, but it actually is that final ball that just lacks with him at times, and especially his shooting as well. Dylan touched on his shooting a little bit as well. 2 massive opportunities yesterday. Definitely should have taken one in the first half that he balloons over the bar. So yeah, look, there's still improvement in him in that player there, and I agree 110%, mate. We can't let this blind to us. I don't want the board to be thinking because he's playing outstanding now, the January window now is going to open. It's just like, I know we're fine. Brendan Aronson is doing the job. We do need an alternative, not a similar type of player, but just someone a little bit of quality. Look at what we've obviously talked about Wendy and McAdee. Players like that to come in. We just need something different, don't we? Something to change it up. Or like what you said, the answer may be in this squad. It's just in the case when it's formed does, and if it does drop again, that we have an opportunity to change it. Because the last thing we want is coming towards the end of the season when it comes down to crunch time, and he's off it, and we have to persist and persist and persist. And in watching it, that's what I don't want.
Yeah, I agree, mate. So it's the one position, isn't it, where it doesn't feel like we've got two for that position.
Everywhere else, perfect.
We all think we've got people who can fill in there, and I think not even filling, because I hate that square pegs round. I think we have got another 10 in there, maybe a Nonta or a Rothwell who could play there, but Farker doesn't. So as it stands, we've only got one option for 10, and that ain't enough. So he needs to bolster it, and that's not against Aronson. That's just what you need. It's just a numbers game. We've got a lightish squad in terms of numbers. We're lucky that the numbers we have got are of a high caliber of quality. But in terms of numbers, you're looking at Bogle, you've got Byram, you know, Schmidt, Firpo, Vober. Options all midfield, you've got 4, 5 if you can include Crew, whoever's injured. You've got loads. Even striker, you could argue you've got 2. You know, he's rotating them, and they're always fit. So 2 seems enough with Bamford as a third option. But that 10, there's only 1. So it has to be some of the lookout lads.
Yeah, John Lewis. Easy's in the building. Big up, Easy. Hope you had a good Christmas, buddy. Hi, lads. Great result. Great goal. Great Christmas period. Yeah, really good. Not often Leeds give you a lot to smile about over the Christmas period. Let's hope we deal with it again on New Year's Day. I think we should accept all our players except Bamford are interchangeable. It's not about a player's form. They are quality. Yeah, exactly. They are quality. And when they're on their day, they're unstoppable.
I heard Easy said that he thought Farker should get the England job. That's what I heard. When it don't work out for Tuchel, you think another German should step up, Easy, and you think you fancy Farker at it now, don't you? I know. I fancy Brendan Aronson in 10 for England as well. I think it's one of them.
He's not going to be Easy B anymore. He's going to be Easy Fark.
Yeah, that Fark talk's quieted down, right, pal?
Yeah, but look, Matty, that's it. Look, I was the same as well, and you were getting to the stage as well at home. Absolutely no issues with Daniel Farke. We were winning games. You can't be giving it when you're winning games. It was away from home. We were really criticising him. Yeah, we can't now. And the difference was, lads, for me, and we talked about it so much before we did beat Stoke, is the tempo away from home just wasn't there. We weren't moving the ball quickly. The players seemed rigid. They weren't moving about the park. And the last 2 games have been totally different. So it feels like eventually the penny kind of dropped with Daniel Farke or the players to move the ball quicker. Even yesterday, something so simple with Joe Rodon and Pascal Schreik really, really frustrating me away from home, where they were just knocking the ball back side to side and moving it slowly. Rodon was actually getting the ball and running with it, not just trying to pass it. He was actually trying to get up the pitch as well, which was really good. Strike as well. Every time his first touch, he was looking forward to see if he get a pass, see if he get Ramazani off down the wing or a little ball in behind. So that's exactly what you want. It wasn't quite there. The tempo wasn't quite at the level at Ellen Road, which is obviously to be expected. There was definitely another gear to go in it, but definitely a lot better. The tempo was 100% yes, and that's why I think we won the game, and that's why I think Derby couldn't get anywhere near us, because we just moved the ball so well. We
were set up well at the back defensively. Quality, like, you know, Bogle and Byram again, lads. I'll give him his flowers as well.
Bogle brace again. Bogle's playing. He's in an unbelievable purple patch a minute, Dillo. Darren honest.
He's quality. Pure quality.
Like we know we can do it going forward. Like, watched him so much, even when his time at Derby, when he was in that Derby team, that best, he was so good at going forward. That's a flying wing back, really, really good. And it was always the other way that he was always being left suspect, especially last season in the Premier League. He was always getting caught out going back the other way. But my God, lads, his defending has seriously improved. Yeah, even his timing, and I don't know what Rodon, so it's very similar to Rodon. The 2 of them types of players where they'll go win the ball, they read the game very, very well, they expect it, and they go win it. Where Strike is more of them kind of hold off, let him get it, and, you know, I'll kind of jockey you. Really, really good reading of the game yesterday again. He's just been solid at the back, and that again, that's something that comes down to a manager getting into his head. I'm sure one of the first things Daniel Farke said to him when he came in the door, I know what you can do going forward, is the other way. I need you to be doing the business when we're under the cosh. And then Byram, what Dillo said yesterday again at the back, he was unbelievable. Loved him for his tackle yesterday. It's like he just lost the Leeds, you know, just said, I'm smashing you. That was it. Very lucky not get a yellow.
So consistent, does a job every single time. Yeah, he doesn't get pat in the back enough. He's been absolutely quality.
To be doing it the last 3 games, that's like what his body has gone through, and like I'm sure he's just stuck in an ice bath. I'm sure he's been in an ice bath since after.
Let's be fair. I mean, we don't know the truth of him, but he won't train full sessions every day a week like rest of the lads. He'll have more recovery days, won't he, than any of them. Especially these 3 games in a week. He'll probably have some days where 2 or 3 day gaps between games where he don't even train at all. It's just recovering
on a bike or something like
unreal,
that.
Mate.
I imagine being like, but like Ledley King was the same thing at years for Spurs. Just couldn't train, but would go out the weekend and be absolutely phenomenal. And some people would say if he could do, he would have been a lot better of a centre half. But yeah, the only kind of little bit that I had about Byram yesterday was when he was getting forward, he was constantly coming back in on his right foot.
Yeah,
constant, and I think it was just the way the game was. Well, not solely on him. It was just Ramazani and Nonto were closing down the space, closing down Aronson. Everything was.
It got very tight though, didn't it? It got very tight up.
A lot of traffic going on there, and Byram wasn't really helping. Every time he got it, he was coming into the traffic as well. And
Firpo would have been ideal yesterday, wouldn't it? Where we set up,
yeah,
Firpo would have been ideal.
Because it was the wingers. Yeah. You could see he was saying, telling Nonto Ramazani, right, you come in, interchange. We'll get our width from Bogle and Byram. And I just think for a while it didn't really work. You could see in the second half, Ramazani was trying to hug the touchline a little bit more, but he was just jaded. And then when Solomon and James came on, as soon as we got the width, you could just see we opened them up after that. But yeah, Byram again, you can't speak highly enough of him, lads, for what he done last season, what he's done this season. Every time he's called upon, he does a job, doesn't he? All the time.
I think everyone's sort of like opinion of him. It were quite low. If you get 5 or 6 games out of him a season, filling in, great. The fact that he can play 3 games in 7 days, do you know what I mean? Now, which is something we never thought he'd be able to do. and his level doesn't drop from playing left back to right back, does it? How many players can you say in world football, at any level, whether it's lower league or Champions League, how many players can play as well on one side of pitch as they can on the other when they're only good with one foot as well? He can't play well with both feet. He's not a Cancelo who's really good on both sides and can play with both feet. It's Byram. He's so right-footed. He's leveled. Yeah, he cuts back inside with left naturally, but he's still a 7 out of 10 whichever side you put him on pitch on. And we're just really lucky. And let's be fair, Farke gets his props for that because we don't even get Byram if Farke's not here. I genuinely believe sometimes your relationships and your connections in football bring you to certain teams and take your career off on a different path. And I'm pretty sure Byram didn't expect to get a move to Leeds United with a Wembley appearance last year and a championship winning season this year, which I'm sure we're going to get. 2 years ago, Farke comes in, texts him, I'm having you. I'll know what you'll do for me.
Do you remember that friendly game? There was nothing about Byram training us. No, and then all of a sudden, we all got a team sheet. I can't remember who we were playing. I was like, Sam Byram was like, is this some sort of a piss take? Is this like a little typo here? And Sam Byram was playing a game for us, and we were like, what's going on? And there was a meltdown. It was
underwhelming signing. Yeah.
What are we doing? Are we seriously getting out? We've just got relegated from the Premier League. There's players leaving us now. We're signing Sam Byram. But my God, lads, that arc, when you just put it back and you think back to how you thought then to what you think of him now, unbelievable. And unbelievable, absolutely outstanding.
It would have wanted that first season down, lad, because we didn't rate Firpo either on that left hand side. So I went into last season thinking, bloody hell, I've got Firpo, he's shite, and we've got Sam Byram who's going to fill in for Firpo. What's going on here? And then Firpo missed out on start season, and Byram instantly in first 4 or 5 games, probably what best player for Leeds that season, and put away any worries about his technical ability and how good he could be. It's always just been the injuries, but this has probably been he's the oldest he's ever been, obviously, as you are every day. It's the best fitness he's ever had. He's never had a fitness run as good as this since he left Leeds United 10 years ago. It's unbelievable to be the age he is now, playing in a demanding division. Premier League, it's harder division, more quality, but you get a lot of rest in there if you're not an international footballer. You might play every Saturday and a Sunday. A lot of breaks. Championship, you don't. It's dogged. There's 8 more games.
Not as hard hitting and all, mate.
Oh, is it, mate? It's not, mate. And he's done so well. He's probably outperformed what we thought he'd do.
Keep him around next season.
Down to Farke as well. Farke has to get his flowers for this as well, because any manager could turn around and go, and some managers do adopt this style where you don't train, you're not playing. And he's obviously turned around and said to them, I know exactly what you can do. He's obviously worked them long enough to know. Just do your bare minimum and just be ready for me on the weekend when called upon and when I need you. And that's fair deal. So the relationship works both ways. We give all the praise to Byram, but we have to give a little bit to Daniel Farke as well for actually putting up with it and bringing the sign in the door. Because I'm sure if Farke had went to the club to 49 and said, I want Sam Byram, I'm sure Angus Kinnear was in there. What's going on here? And
you can put people's noses out of joint as well, can't you, Darren, with that? If you're saying to someone you don't have to train today, other lads can be a bit put off by that. So it's Daniel Farke's man management. You've got
you can see a little bit. You ever see some of the club videos when they're I remember they did one with Bridges last year, and but it was calling them the teacher's pet, and he was calling them the boss's son and stuff like that. I'm sure that it seems like there's more like a laugh about it. They kind of wind them up. I'm sure Byron does be when they're going out to do their training session. I'm just going to jump in the pool, lads. You just have it out there in the pissing rain. I'm going to go for a nice swim,
But as well when you can have a player, can't you? I don't know, might be worried about getting serious injury and stuff like that. You'd think Byram would be thinking that with going through so many, but we've touched on it. We've all said it at separate times this season. Byram plays like, fuck it. if I get one, I get one. I'm going to go out on my shield. He plays like
that tackle yesterday. They said it still in the stream. Like, if man that's injured the amount of time that he is, not a bother him flying a tackle. Doesn't care.
It's like he's just thinking this is now the pinnacle of my career. I'm not going to get any better than this. This is probably my last roll at dice at a club like, he loves the club. He's a Leeds fan, and he's probably just thinking, fuck it, I'll go out on my shield. I'll retire here. Do you know what I mean? If my body gives in, it gives in, but I'm going to give it my all for as long as it lasts. And I feel like it's a bit like Berardi. He reminds me of Berardi. Don't get me wrong, he's not as feisty as Berardi, but that sort of mentality where he's a leader. He full blood and thunder. Every tackle he flies in there and tries to win it, regardless of any injury worries. You know what you're going to get from him, and he plays with that pride and passion. Maybe a little bit more. He curbs it down a little bit from what Berardi did. Obviously, he's not really a chest puncher. He's more quiet. But in terms of where he flies in for tackles and stuff, mate, you can't deny he's been an absolute tremendous signing. One of his best signings, value for money. And anyone in Championship, he'll be lucky to have Sam Byram. So I'm absolutely made up we've got him, and fair play to him.
Do you think, mate? I don't think it works anywhere else. Like anyone else in the Championship be looking at him going, yeah, geez, we take Sam Byram. They wouldn't have last season, the start of last season, they would have said, no, we're not touching him like with a barge pole. Absolutely not. But I don't think Byram works anywhere else, because I don't think anyone. You imagine Chris Wilder isn't putting up with that situation. Scott Parker certainly isn't putting up with that situation. So I don't think it works anywhere else for Sam Byram, and I think he knows that. I think he knows that himself. And like what you said, mate, to get the opportunity to come back to Leeds, he's just in his head enjoying it. I'm sure every single minute, I'm sure when he drives out that training ground, just going, I'm absolutely loving this, because like that. It's cliche, but like any game could be our last game, so go out and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Love it, absolutely love 100%.
it. Can I put something to you guys? Joe Rodon. Do you feel like he's now at the level we saw last season, if not slightly better? Because I think he is after a slow start this season.
I think he's better. He's actually very better. He's reading the game a lot better, as Darren said.
So cagey, mate. Like, he was unbelievable all last season. Absolutely outstanding. And I thought it was going to be he wasn't at the level of Ben White, but I thought it was going to be another Ben White situation, where he would go to one of the newly promoted Championship sides, your Ipswich, Leicester, whatever you have it. See him coming back in here, I remember just thinking, what a scoop it is again to have Joe Rodon back at this club. And then we started and we seen him play, and I just goes, no, like he can't be like, where's the Joe Rodon we got last season? But like we said, it could have just been the whole situation. He played a lot of the season last year when Ampadu was buddy beside him, he was comfortable. Strike came back in after missing a large portion of last season, and it was probably just that dynamic that they needed to kind of get things going, that synergy going together. And like we just said, mate, he's definitely, if he's not better, he's definitely back at that level that he was last season. Just even the way he's striding out with the ball. There's one thing as well, is passing as well. It was sus last season. It's been sus at the start of the season, but over the last couple of games, it's definitely got a little bit better as well. He can be a little bit rash with his passing as well, a little bit too overexcited with it, and it's something that he's improved on as well out from the back, because we could get caught with that. But the two of them, voting them at the back, lads, just two absolute trains at the back.
Yeah, I kind of reflect off what Darren was saying there. At the start of the season, it was a bit of, we're the same fella as last season, but then I kind of came up with an idea in my head that would have been because of Strike after coming in, but it was obviously injured. Because they played a lot together at the back. So I'd say maybe he's not used to playing with Strike, that he lets Ampadu call the shots. But he's proved us all wrong. He's doing well. His passing can be a little bit, slow and, not high tempo at times, but he's really stepped it up a little bit. I think with last season with Archie Gray, I think
he never really trusted Archie though, didn't he? Not Matty.
No.
He never really trusted to give Archie the ball. You'd always see him; he was always going to come back and Archie would scream for it. It was like he didn't trust Archie enough to give him the ball.
But he's really turned it around. He went on a mad run in one of the games. I remember, if anyone remember, he just kind of went on a dart and run. And we didn't see that last season. So, I'm really liking him. I think him and Strike at the back. But then at the same time, if one of them were to get injured, whether Strike or Rodon, you have Ampadu in there as well. Like, it's great. The centre half position is really good. It's probably one of the best in the team. They're solid. Two boys are solid.
I think because we're not tested a lot as well, lads, defensively.
Yeah,
they seem quite fresh. Obviously, you wouldn't want to change. You don't want to change your defence up in terms of rotation. That back five, you don't really want to rotate. Unfortunately, we've got to it with us full backs, haven't we? Quite regular, but I think that spine there from that right edge, I think Rodon to Bogle to James is so strong. Like when them three are all playing, they're so strong. I mean, Rodon and Bogle, I think they both read the game very well. I think Rodon's got fantastic recovery speed that he doesn't actually need that often because he tends to read most situations to a high level anyway. But like you say, we're nervy early in season because we've all backed ourselves to get up this year, in however what means, you know what I mean. So we've obviously gone in hard with a 4-year contract we rode on. We all thought last year a Prem player, you know, for 10 games in, we were thinking, what have we got here? You know, as he's like West Yorkshire Retro Gamer says, playing for a contract. You know, he's got that perm contract and he's dropped off. Picked it back up again now when he's right at that level, and it's just a great position to be in, considering, you know, winning the championship. I know the championship's moved on in quality over the last 5 years. It's better now than it was 10, 15 years ago. You know, but when we were mid-table in championship with some poor players, Pascal Strauch and rode on a very, very good footballers, you know, defenders, very good footballers for this level. Whether they can do it in Prem, we'll have to see. I think they can.
I think Strike definitely can.
Mate, Strauch for me is, I mean, I don't know who he qualifies for. I don't know if it's Belgium or if it's Holland, but I think we're getting Prem, and I expect him to be making caps for his national side. I think he is an absolute baller. He's just,
he reminds me, he has the same sort of defending style of Van Dijk. Obviously, he's not at that level, but that same sort of, you know, he kind of breezes, he hauls up defenders very well, pushes them into the corner, and times is tackled very well. With Rodon's very much like what you said, Matty, the reader of the game, you know, can nip in, can kind of sense danger, gets there first and gets away. Strike is brilliant. His dominance in the air as well, really, really good header of the ball, can sense danger as well. The two of them are just colossal.
His passing is quality as well. It can be a bit dead sometimes.
We do have a little bit of cover there, lads, but I just hope if we can keep them 2 fit for the whole season. We obviously know Strike, he always kind of gets his one a season. Yeah, just hope, because we obviously know we have the situation there. Like, if one of them do get injured, you'd imagine Ampadu will drop back in. We'd have Rotwell. I just don't want it to come to that. I just think the two of them back there, they've been absolutely outstanding.
They're not flappers, are they? They're really composed. Sometimes a little bit too composed, a bit like we said with Ampadu earlier. Sometimes a bit laid back, but I think we've got a bit of a flappy goalkeeper at times. I think he's doing all right at the minute. But that defence is really, really focused, switched on for 90 minutes. They'll have the moments where that Preston game when they got in behind and they scored. Obviously, you can't be perfect all the time, but you think that midfield and that forward line, they'll be very confident when they get beaten. They'll be all right with lads who are behind them. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anyone in that side will look and go, oh, maybe like they might do with Melier, but they've still got to get past them 4 before they even get to Melier. So it's just you feel really comfortable, don't you, knowing that we've got lads there who don't flap. 9 times out of 10 they make the right decision, and they look so calm and composed on ball, which that confidence just goes through the rest of the team then.
I agree, buddy. 110% I agree. We have got one question here from Andy. Is Gilavogi at Leeds for a last payday, or is it genuine? I think it's 110% genuine. Very similar to the situation with Sam Boylan. Seeing Leeds United came in for him and grabbed it and took it with both hands. And look, he knows he's not getting much game time, but everything you hear the Fark saying about them, grabbing them to get our team meeting, rallying the troops away when we were playing Swansea, that's exactly what you want. And just that experience in the dressing room, where he's played, what he's done in his career, that's colossal, lads, in the dressing room, isn't it? To have someone like that, and it's a lot that goes unseen. The players go out on the pitch and they score goals, but Nando as well, when he scored against Middlesbrough, ran straight over to Gilavogi to give him a hug as well. So that's a telltale sign as well.
He won't be on much money. He won't be on much money.
And a big leader in that dressing room. Pittons might
see. That's what I was saying about the Aylan situation. Like, it would have been ideal for him to stay to kind of rally the troops.
Needed experience, lads. We needed that could have been a blessing in disguise. I said it when Ampadu got injured that time, and Gruev got injured. That around that situation, what I felt at the start of the season, that a lot of the experience heads went out the door. With Cooper gone out the door, with Dallas gone out the dressing room, our Aylan obviously went as well. So with a lot of experience that was gone from this squad, and a lot of young lads coming to work, starting that, I've obviously said a strike this season. You can feel that he's kind of getting to that situation. So that was my concern. So to bring someone of his experience in, lads, it's vital, absolutely vital, and it's a blessing in disguise that Ampadu did get injured. I'm delighted that he's back now, but it could be just one of them things in the background that goes unnoticed. To sell this division,
Go on, Dillo.
No, I completely agree. I understand that. Never thought about it like that, Darren, to be fair. That's a good point. A very good point.
Not everyone can play in the organisation, in that framework of a club, a building, business, any model like that. Not everyone can play. There's hundreds of employees down at kitchen staff and cleaners and cooks and all that. Go into the guys that lay the grass, keep on top of stadium and Thorpe Park. There's so many people involved, and then you've just got your squad. Gilavogi, if he were 25-year-old, he probably don't come to play for Leeds as 4th, 5th choice. But he's in twilight of his career, and we've gone for someone who can add knowledge, quality in certain areas that might not be focused on the pitch. He's probably looking. Let's be honest. He's probably looking at a coaching career. He might have even been spoke to Leeds United. There, come here. Watch from, joining training, be an extra body in training. We're confident you're good enough to fill in when needed. And watch from sidelines. Watch what we're doing as coaches. You come to that side of your career now. He's probably been promised something like that. And when you look at him, the way he delivers when I've heard him speak, the way the lads love him, you can see him maybe going into that. This is just my opinion. It might be totally false, but that's where I sort of see his thought process of coming to Leeds. I don't think he'll be on big money. And like I say, the qualities he gives, it doesn't have to be on the pitch. We've got a decent enough amount of quality there as it is. For the minutes he plays, you're not going to get any player at this level who's happy playing 8 minutes a game or 8 minutes every 2 or 3 games on least money inside, because let's be fair, we won't lump money on him because we didn't want that body. We didn't need that body at start of the season. We were happy with what we got. We had to do it. It was sat on a sun lounger at home or whatever, sat on sofa at home. It was better than sitting there. So he's come to play for Leeds.
And you imagine it was somewhere warm. He decided.
It will have been, pal. It will have been. So it's one of those. It's like same again we said with Byron. And it's like it's a no-lose situation for me. You've got someone who's come in who's happy if he never touches grass.
He just has a gas smile.
He's just unreal, mate. He's unreal. He's another one. I'd give another contractor just to keep him round. And I know it's football. And
he'd probably go into coaching or something, to be fair.
100%, mate. And I know it's not a charity, and I know it's professional football. And
Leeds could have turned around and said that, like, come here, and then next season we'll have a conversation about you maybe getting in, to the background staff, or with the youth setup, or like however it may be. Yeah, so I love Gillibogie. I'm absolutely delighted to share. And as I said, he adds that experience in the dressing room. He looks like a real good person. Seems like everyone loves him. Looks like the younger lads look up to him, and I'm sure he's one of them that you go to and he put his arm around your shoulder and give you a dig out. Fark has already said it, so yeah, I'm delighted. I don't think he's just here for the payout, and I think he'll genuinely love it if he got Leeds promoted out of this division. Lads, one person I do want to touch on as of late, and I got thinking about him today, Illan Meslier, lads. I think about all three of us, we've gave our thoughts about Meslier this season. We bring ourselves back to that Sunderland situation. Do you think he's recovered from that? And do we forgive him for that?
I'll go for it.
Yeah,
I feel he's definitely stepped it up. At the end of the day, we don't know what went on behind closed doors. Fark obviously had a word with him. But to be fair, like, he made a good few saves over the last couple of weeks. The same thing that was kicking isn't great, but he's definitely stepped it up a good bit. Do I trust him? No, because he does drop his head every now and again. Do I see him as a keeper next year? No, I think he'd be gone. I think I'd like someone a bit more, just better overall. But I'm not going to say necessarily that he redeemed himself, but he definitely has stepped it up. Yeah, that's really kind of all that I would say. Look, he's all right for the championship.
Yeah,
Matty, you buddy, what's your feelings on Meslier?
I think he stepped it up. I think by his own standards, he's doing well. I still don't think he's as good as 6 or 7 other keepers in this division. I'm not going to reel names out, but I know I think he's 15th or 16th still in personal stats as a goalkeeper. It's not ideal. So. You look at James Trafford out at, I know he made a mistake the other night, but his stats, I think he's number 1 or number 2. You look at the sides in the top 4, all their goalkeepers are in the top 4 for their personal stats. So it's always going to affect you when your keeper isn't pulling his weight in terms of that. And I know it's not all stat-based, but with a goalkeeper, it probably is when you look at shots faced and what he should be saving and what he isn't. What I will say is in the last couple of weeks, he has made some saves. All last season he was very culpable of the first shot going in. Not all his fault. The defenders weren't doing the job as well, but a lot of shots go in the first shot in the game, which is frustrating. And we know as Leeds United fans, that first goal kills us quite a lot. Last few weeks,
especially at Stoke, the first one at Stoke in the first 2 minutes.
Massive.
Middlesbrough as well, good couple of saves at Middlesbrough, really good performance. Got us out of jail at Stoke as well. A nice little save as well yesterday. Was obviously deflected. It looked like an easy one, but if you look back how the angle changed completely, good little save. So he is just starting to
massive
when he's called upon, make them saves, and that's what you need, Matty. It's like what you said. It felt like they're time 1 shot, 1 goal all the time, hologram hands. Seems like he's just starting to up it now, isn't he?
Clean sheets will do.
up
That's
to
it. I
10.
mean, we've all said, haven't we? We don't feel like the clean sheets have all been him. I feel like a lot of the clean sheets have been the fact that they haven't had many shots. We went through a period of the season, didn't we, where we had like four games with only a couple of shots on goal.
3 shots or something on us, yeah.
That's not Melier getting a clean sheet. That's the collective. That's the outfield unit providing him with them. But not getting clean sheet, getting clean sheets. Sorry, not having to pick the ball out your net 2 or 3 times a game like he did in Prem 5-6 times a game. Your confidence is gonna grow. It is. I mean, I see him at Ellen Road some games, man. He's stood nearly on halfway line, twiddling his thumbs. It's trying to keep warm, stretching, jumping up and down, jogging on spot. It's ridiculous how good we are in certain games where he's not tested at all. But that there is double-edged sword. We're playing really well. I expect with Melia, what I've seen with my eyes last couple of years, that one shot will go in because it hasn't been tested enough. He isn't warm, but he's actually pulling these saves out now. When he is called upon these 1 or 2 times, he's looking better, and I think I don't think it's an attribute thing. I think he's always had, natural agility. His reflexes are quite good. I think one-on-one is outstanding. I just feel like confidence with him. I feel like we've had a lot of confidence players in this side. I remember Jack Harrison won when we had him. He
100%.
If we were in a bad reign of form, it didn't matter who we played, he were going to be shy. Patrick Bamford's another one. Melier, for me, is a confidence player. And, if he makes a howler, for
that's why Easy says here, Melier is a good goalkeeper. All this talk of other goalkeepers is misguided because the pressure of playing for Leeds can ruin a keeper. So Cooper and others might not be as good at Leeds, and it is a decent point because I'm sure that number 1 short at Leeds United. Like when you think, lads, back through the history of Leeds United, lads, especially in our lifetime, lads, there's only a couple of goalkeepers where you turn around and say he was a decent goalkeeper. We've had a lot of shit at this football club, and it's very, very hard to get a decent goalkeeper. So Easy might have a point there. You might see, someone like a Cooper or James Trafford coming to Leeds and absolutely crumble under pressure. I remember we had Alex McCarthy as well for a stage at Leeds as well, and I remember thinking that he was no good. I think he was here on loan as well. We've had Jack Butland here as well, who was good when he came in, and then was a little bit sus.
Rob Green was good, wasn't he, for that 1 year?
Rob Green, Rob Green was good. Liked him, We never really seen, and I was literally just about to bring it up. Simon has taken his word out. Scum are 2-0 down at home.
To who?
Newcastle.
Wow.
Newcastle. Did you see a Newcastle fan travelled up in it? He was dressed up as a mouse. Look. Okay, I absolutely love it, lads. But look, this is making my Christmas period even better. Do you know what I mean? Leeds win 2 away from home. Hit 500 subscribers. Scum are getting absolutely slapped all over the place. The stadium is riddled in rats and mice, lads. What a time to be alive.
We could be in Premier League next season, lads, and not be able to play Scum. That's going to be madness, that.
Leeds are going up and the Scum are going down.
Unreal, mate. Unreal. This guy was supposed to Messiah come and save him, and it's got worse. Absolutely wasn't.
That'd be great, lads. All joking aside, wouldn't it? I really would.
I think he's good, Matty. I do think he'll turn their fortunes around, and I think they should stick with him for as long as they possibly can.
The same at Dan Hag. I was raging when he sacked him. I thought he was doing a great job.
One of them where he's got to strip it right back to brickwork. I don't want to talk about Scum on here, but he's probably got to strip it right back to brickwork before he can start again. So it'll probably turn around. But while it's
how many managers have they said that, though, Matty? How many managers since after Ferguson have they said they need to strip it back? They need to strip back. They never will. They need to just knock down the whole stadium and scrap the club and get away with it. Sure, all their London-based fans will just support another club anyway, but no biggie to them anyway. So.
Same with all the Irish lads over here. Loads of them United fans.
Yeah.
Can't even tell you where United play.
Yeah, they couldn't even tell you where Manchester is on the map. Right, that's enough of Scum shite on this chat.
The Leeds are going up and the Scum are going down. Oh, it's gone to my head, lads.
Love it. Right, lads. Anyone else to add before we wrap it up for the final point?
Score predictions for Blackburn.
Yeah, what are we though? What's the table like for the hot chip challenge?
I've got 3 points. You've got 2. Darren's got 0, I think. Yeah.
0. Oh, yeah. But I'm going to get on the board this week. I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds.
I'm going to go 3-0 Leeds, like I do most home games. 1-0.
4.
Wow.
2.
What?
4-2.
That's a Darren prediction, that. Wild.
If that comes true, I said this week I'm going to be a little bit more reserved. If that comes true this week.
Dillo, just think about that, mate. You're thinking Leeds are going to concede 2 at Ellen Road, mate. 2 at Ellen Road. Come on, Dillo. Come on.
Yeah, 4-2.
Wow. I kind of hope it is. I kind of hope it is because it means we've scored a couple and got carried on playing, doesn't it? Then if it's a fourth, which I'd love to see, to be honest. But
that's the whiskey talking boy. I'm gonna roll with it anyway.
Yeah, well, go on easy. I love that, man. I love that.
Porn, yeah, love it.
Okay.
Yeah, boys. Yeah, anyone else to add? No, that it.
Absolutely chuffed with the 500 subscribers. Same obviously Matty as well. So appreciate everyone in the chat. You know, it's been great. Started this in August, made a lot of friendships. Loving this. Love Leeds United more than ever. What else more do you want?
Yeah, can I just bring up the Casey O'Reilly's autographs again? Because I spoke to him again earlier. Just so everyone knows, I shouted him out on my channel. You did as well yesterday. Watch along. But O'Reilly's autographs. Check him out on Instagram. Great memorabilia. Gets it all himself signed. Genuine shirts. Don't just do Leeds United stuff. He goes walking around town, bumping into Alice Cooper and Tom Hanks to get the signatures. Wherever they are, he'll go find them if he wants a signature. And yeah, he's a top guy. But he's got a bit. We've got a discount code. If you use the final pint anytime from now till the end of January, he'll knock 10% off any memorabilia that you want to purchase on behalf of Darren Dillon and myself. So O'Reilly's autographs. My channel, ImaginenotbeingLeeds, and obviously OnlyLeedsBros are going to push it. He's a top guy. You guys got a couple of shirts apiece from him, didn't you? Genuine guy, genuine gear. If you want any memorabilia, just hit up O'Reilly's autographs, and I'm sure you guys will like it. There you go. Look at that.
And you see that, boys?
Yeah,
absolutely love it. Genuine gear from Casey. Really nice guy there as well. There he is with Tanaka getting another signed short. But yeah, guys, go check Casey out on O'Reilly's autographs.
Us too. Danny knows I do have a Pirro and a strike one, and as you can see in Matty's background, there is Mackie Joseph hanging high in the sky.
And rather be framed. But yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, we're going to push him on both channels, aren't we, lads? And yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Get Jer on your next stream. Yeah, we should do. Actually, you haven't spoken to Jer in a bit so much. Actually, touch base with him, see how the married life is going, and hope everything is all good. So, yeah, we'll do. We will ask Jer on again in the future. Good hope. You're just starting to go as well. Look at you, you're not married yet.
I'm gone.
This is the last final pint of 2024, lads, and it's been brilliant so far. Last one of 2024, going into 2025 with 500 subs, new friendships, Leeds atop at fucking table. Fucking come on.
Stop crying now. I'm getting all emotional.
Absolutely love it. Lads, look, we leave it there. Before you leave the video, please don't forget to smash a like on the video. Hit subscribe to OnlyLeedsBros and Imagine Not Being Leeds. And make sure you share it around to anyone that you think may like this video. We'll chat you all again soon. Myself and Dylan will be back tomorrow for the match build-up ahead of Blackburn. Matty, what's going on across in Imagine Not Being Leeds?
I'm live in an hour for my Blackburn preview, and yeah,
he loves it. He loves it. You're saying this all day if you could, couldn't you?
Yeah, honestly, I get in my flow, mate, and I love it. I just can't shut up because talking. It's something I got told off in school, pal, and now I can do it with no one telling me how else. So, yeah, lads, so head across and check out Matty's live stream in an hour's time and show the love over there, lads. We'll chat you all again soon. Have a good one. Mind yourselves and mind each other. Take care.